Hello everyone, welcome to profitrealestate.com.au where we provide you the tools, knowledge and the wisdom for you to succeed in property development and building in Australia. So these techniques can be used anywhere in the world. Certainly, I work from Melbourne and we are based in Australia. But certainly these same techniques do apply anywhere in the world. So you can apply this. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can apply the same principles anywhere in the world. So I'm here with the expert builder developer John Williams, and in this video we will be expanding a bit further how to make money from property. So on that, because initially we have done few videos, so if you haven't seen the videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. In there are a few videos which we have done in regards to renovation, structural, non-structural, as well as making a duplex and doing up developments within the backyard. So that kind of scenario. So we're going to expand a bit further and maybe putting up 4 townhouses or units or 6 units, a little bit medium scale, large development. What could be done? So let's have a chat with John. Hi John, how are you?
Hi Usher, thanks for having me aboard and welcome, and I hope you enjoy this one with us.
Excellent. Thank you very much, John, for coming around. And John, so today I want to ask you, expand a bit further how to make money from property. What could you do? Like,
Certainly, when we start to look at 4 units on a site, we're actually starting to get into the professional realm.
yeah,
And quite often, some suburbs where you can actually only put 4 on, you might put 6 or 7, and they sort of butt up against each other like a cluster sort of development. So it's a case by case, and your local town planner will be the best person to contact in that regard, especially if they've had a lot of submissions with a local council. So that's a good way of looking at what you can do in a given suburb. But looking at 4 units on the side, it's starting to get into the realm of professional developers, and there's no reason why you couldn't do that if you engage, an engineer or a project manager that has that relevant experience.
knowledge.
So, as a layperson, you can certainly do a development yourself. There's no restriction there. So, with these sort of developments, because there's a lot of driveway and there's a lot of concrete and things like that, what actually becomes imperative is a retention system whereby the amount of stormwater that you're discharging into the council drains has to be restricted in the amount of flow that goes into it, purely because you don't want to be flooding the drains, because everything gets flooded out then. And so there are a lot of little things to be done, and these days councils are very fussy about the landscaping, the whole system, how it blends into the neighborhood, the overlooking. So there are a lot of formulas that go into this sort of development that need to be considered. And quite often people might think they can get 4 units on a site, but really you can only get 3 on, purely because council has a requirements. So,
All right. Thank you, John. So see, in my personal experiences, we worked on one project in the southeastern suburbs where we were trying to put 6 units, and it was not approved because the shape of the property and everything. So the council asked us to do 3 townhouses, double-story townhouses in front and 2 units at the back. So ended up with 5 units altogether instead of 6 units. So that kind of a scenario could come up, but certainly, as John said, if you can hire the professionals who's actually done this
correct.
in the suburb,
Yep.
that those people could help out, right, John?
Certainly.
Yeah. So John, let's talk about the financial scenario, because if somebody wants to do a project like this and they don't have that much of a capital, or they don't have the whole funds, what in bank scenarios, because with your experience and everything, what would banks look at? Like, is it harder getting something? Does it move from residential loan to a commercial loan, or how does it work?
Well, if you have 4 units on the side, it's still a residential loan, but if you move up to 5 and above, then it trips over into a commercial area.
Okay.
So basically, there are different options with getting your finance. One of the best options is to get a finance where they actually talk about the GRV, which was the as you know,
gross
gross
sales value.
yeah,
So yeah, what John is saying is they will look at the end value, not exactly the construction cost. So if you're building, let's say, 3 units and each unit is worth 400,000 sold value, then they will value the project as 1.2 million.
that's right.
So from that 1.2 million, so which is 400,000 into 3, 1.2 million, they'll have a certain requirement. Okay, we're going to lend only 70% of GRV.
That's correct. Yes.
I mean realized value. So final value. So whatever that final gross sales value, out of that, if you can get 70% of that, so you should be able to have at least. So if your profit margins are, let's say, 15%, so you have to have 15% deposit getting into that project. So, and as John said as well, so I mean, if it goes above 3 to 4 units, it could become commercial, but there are certain lenders actually. So speak to your broker in regards to that, so that that person should be able to help you out. If you don't know, I mean, we do have a team of brokers who are closely working with us. We can certainly refer you deals as well. You can certainly ask questions and be in touch with us. And John, so okay, let's go a bit further into this development matter. So you have mentioned that putting retention systems, and those are things. And then who can advise on these things?
Look, usually the town planner can carry everything, so he'll have an engineer that will design the retention system, a landscape designer that will do all the landscaping for you, and there's a lot of other issues that come in, like overshadowing neighboring properties and matching the streetscape. So a proficient town planner that works in that particular council will know all the things he needs to cover to get you your permit.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, that's a start. I mean, if you're looking to start a project, you can certainly look in the neighborhood. I mean, once you have picked your the neighborhood, the locality which you want to be building, and then if you can see there are more units and townhouses coming up in that area, there's certainly possibility. That means the property which you are eyeing at should be able to subdivide as well. But make sure there are no major easements. So easement, can you explain, John, what is an easement?
Well, an easement is something that you can't build over or up to, and usually if you build up to it, you really got to go deep with the foundation, so that if any work needs to be done, you don't have any structural issues. So an easement can be a council easement, it can be any of the utilities that run through that particular area. So the easement means that you generally can't build in an easement, or over an easement,
or
within proximity of an easement. So all sorts of conditions.
Yeah.
But your town planner should be able to sort that out for you and tell you,
So in simple terms, I mean, if there's say water pipes running under your property, or in that property which you're looking at buying, or there's a major drainage pipe which is actually passing your property through maybe the corner of your property or side of the property. So in that scenario, you cannot put permanent structures on that. But certainly we've had scenarios, our clients, currently we are working on one client as well, so which we are going to build over an easement, but we have got special approval to build over that easement, but it is not a permanent structure, it's a carport. So in that scenario, so our requirement is, if something goes wrong and then Southeast Water or whoever the water company or the electricity company or the council requires you to take that off, we should take that off at our own cost. So that is an easement, and so you have to make sure there are no major easements or anything like that, and then from there on you can decide whether it's subdividable or not. And then certainly having a chat to your town planner should be able to give you an indication whether it's doable or not.
Yeah. So in addition to all these things as well, there are tree issues on the site, depending on the type of trees, the size of the tree and the location of the tree. Quite often you may not be able to remove trees and you have to actually build around them, or you have to get a dispensation where you actually take the tree down, but you plant something that is acceptable to council. So
Yes.
all these things will be worked out with your town planner.
Absolutely. Yeah, in one of my scenarios, there was a native Australian tree which the council wanted to keep, and then that was a scenario as well. So okay, those are kind of points which you could come across. Do we need to add anything else?
So really, all these little points we spoke about just now, they're all cost factors that could increase your development costs, and you need to look at them quite early in the piece and actually ask about them so that your town planner can address them satisfactorily for you.
Excellent, excellent. So thank you so much, John, for answering these critical, important questions to help you to profit from real estate and property developments and building works anywhere in the world, and especially in Australia. So if you would like to work with us, please do visit our website, profitrealestate.com.au. We do have a newsletter, and we do have a property magazine as well, so you can subscribe to our property magazine, which we will provide much great information, as well as to our YouTube channel. Please do like and comment, because I do and we do really appreciate our team who is there to help you out in anything, and please do attend one of our webinars as well, and I hope to see you in the future. And thank you, John, for coming around.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for listening to us. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Excellent. Thank you.
10 times the knowledge, 10 times the wisdom, 10 times the tools. Do you want to profit from real property developments? Visit profitrealestate.com.au. Hit the subscribe button now.